Hi everybody, this is Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange. I hope you and yours are well. And may we continue to pray for the situation in Israel. The Jews should be protected, the hostages should come home, the soldiers should come home happily and healthily. Is there a way of finding out, can we prove to ourselves, do we love God and do we love His commandments? There's something in this week's portion that actually gives us a kind of criteria that can help us. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Behaloscha, and in it, there are Jewish people that are ritually unclean. They're tamei. They became impure from touching a dead body. Now the problem is, if you touch the dead body, you can't go into the Mishkan, to the tabernacle, to bring a sacrifice. And the Korban Pesach, the Paschal lamb, is something that they wanted to do. And they came to Moshe and they said, Moshe, why should we lose out? We want to do the Paschal lamb. Now, had they come to Czapnik, I would have said, I'm sorry, folks, but that's the law, and you got to wait maybe till next year. But Moshe, in his humility, which again in this week's portion of text talks about that Moshe was the most humble of men, he says, let me speak to God. And God's answer was startling. God says, they really want to do the mitzvah. I'm going to give them a second opportunity called Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, where normally the Korban Pesach, the Paschal lamb, is brought on the 14th day of the first month of the year, Nisan. Those who missed it because they were ritually unclean or far away could in fact bring it a month later on the 14th day of the second month of Iyar. And our sages tell us that these people were righteous and were trying to do the mitzvah. And that was a tremendous indicator. What's the indicator? The indicator is, do I have an excuse not to do it? And I go, I couldn't do it. They weren't looking for excuses. They were looking to do the mitzvah, even though technically there was nothing they could do. But their desire created a new reality. But the fact that they had a desire, that is an indication of what they were really like and what they were all about. Similar idea we find with Avram. The patriarch Avram, he was recovering from circumcision. He was 99 years old. And God made it hot so that he couldn't have visitors. But Avram pined for visitors, and he sat by the door of his tent looking to see maybe a visitor will come. He had a good excuse, go rest. But he wasn't looking for excuses. He was looking to do the will of the Almighty. Even if technically he couldn't have, because it was a very scorching hot day, God made it, and no people were traveling. But he wanted to. So that's an important goal for us, the idea of wanting to do the right thing. And sometimes when we can't, to not just say, oh, well, I tried, I can't. No, I want to. And a story is told of the Chafetz Chaim, the saintly Yisrael Meir Kain Kagan, who he was standing outside in the bitter snow cold of Radom, Poland, not Southern California. In the bitter cold, it was a snowstorm. And for several nights, he was waiting. He was hoping the clouds would clear, that he could do Kiddush Levana, the sanctification of the new moon that we do at the beginning of each of the months. And he waited in the cold because he was hoping maybe there'll be a break in the clouds and I'll be able to say that beautiful prayer. So here's a powerful lesson for us. And the lesson has to do with not only doing the mitzvahs when we can, but striving and wanting to do them more and more. And if we feel the need to do that, then that's an indication that we really love God and we want to be connected to Him that way. And we love His Torah and love His mitzvahs. Unfortunately, there was a man in the community here who passed away recently. He was a visitor from Israel who had a severe disease and he battled it for 4 years. But he fought to learn Torah. He'd come back from an appointment exhausted from a doctor, and he'd go to the study hall and spend some time learning. He pushed and pushed and pushed himself. He was God-fearing, and he loved to do God's mitzvahs. So for ourselves, we can use a criteria to say, oh, I got away, I didn't have to do that. That indicates, even if we do it when we have to, that still indicates a lack of desire and a lack of connection to Hashem. If when we can't do it, we pine for it, and who knows, like the people in the Parsha, they pined to do the mitzvah of the Paschal Lamb, and Hashem, and that desire created a new reality that they were able to do it a month later, which, how did that happen? That's not the time to bring the Korban Pesach, but because they desired it, that's why it happened. May the Almighty give us the strength and wherewithal and study about God and about His mitzvahs so that we have a desire for it and we want to do it. And that'll be an indication to us, one indication, that we're serious about our connection to God and we're serious about doing His commandments because we really want to do it. We know that that's what's best for us and ultimately what's best for the world. Have a wonderful Shabbos. All the best.